Everyone is able to hear me? So yesterday we have seen, right? So how to anyone is having any doubt in yesterday's program? Anyone is having any doubt? Yeah. So now I'll upload this program to all of you. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I'll upload this program. So again, I'll forget it. Yeah, just 1 minute. Huh? Just 1 minute. Huh? I upload. Are you able to see now? Just see. Hibernate related. In the Google Classroom link I uploaded. Everyone is able to see the download. Everyone is able to see the download of that. I mean, Google Classroom link. I uploaded just now the material. Are you able to see that? You're able to see, right? Okay, just download it. Okay. And right, just download it. All right, then. So what you do is, in the meanwhile, just set up in your program. I'll also yes, from Saturday notes. And also, what you do is, I'll just show you. Just take your if you're so use. Okay, what I'll do is, you just so this table. Create this table script. Okay. I'll be just back in 10 minutes. Just set up this program in your system and just practice this. Whatever the program that I sent, just set up that. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. Set up the Hibernate program. And in MySQL database, the script, whatever the script is being sent. Okay. Just do this. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah, hi, all, I'm back. Uh, so everyone is able to download the program and all that, right? Now, whatever we have seen, everyone understood this. Any doubts here? And I'll tell you what is the use of this transaction. Like for example, so I'll tell you what is the use of this transaction. Say, for example, I have two tables. Say there is two tables, for example. One is actually students table, and another one is fees details table. Now, say for example, if there is no transaction, say for example, if there is no transaction, so what will happen is, first one, let us assume there is no transaction, so we insert data in students table. Next, we insert data in fees details table. Okay. So let us do like this. Suppose what happens, say for example, if this operation is success, and if this operation is success, so for a particular student ID, the table will be like this. You will have a student ID, a roll number, okay, and in fees details for that particular roll number, what is the fees paid? So here, so in the students table, we'll have the roll number, student name. Okay. Generally, if I take the tables in detail, it will be like this. So I'll have now student table, students table. So in that we have roll number, student name. So roll number. Next is the student name, right? And then we'll have like kind of student age, something like this. And in fees details table, we'll have the columns like this. So we'll have the fees ID. Next is the amount paid, fees paid date, and the student number. So it will be like this. So fees ID, right? And then we'll have like kind of okay, amount paid. Okay. And then we'll have a column called paid date, and then the roll number, right? So now we'll have like for this roll number 100, Ramesh, age 20. So if you go to his fees details, so you'll have the roll number 100. So what is a fees ID? Fees ID is 1. Next amount paid is say some 10,000 rupees. And when he paid some so and so date, February 2023, something date. Okay. Now actually you are inserting that here, inserting in fees data. So when you insert the data in students table, this record got inserted. And when you insert data in fees table, this record got inserted. But there might be some scenarios where, I'm not talking about hibernate or any specific thing. I'm talking generally about database management system. Okay. About the transactions. I'm telling about what is transactions. Now what happens if, for example, I'm trying to insert the data in students table. This record got inserted. But when I'm trying to insert in fees details table, there is some error. That means the data, say I'm trying to insert one more student roll number 101. So his name is Ravi and his age is 21. So this record we got inserted by this statement. So this record got inserted from this statement. Now, now when I'm trying to enter, the fee details table, for the student Ravi, that got error, that led to an error. Why it got error means there might be so many reasons like network failure. Okay, your database might network failure might be there, or some data issue might have come, but some error, and because of that the fees related, fee details related to this student did not get inserted. Now in the you'll have the record in the students table for Ravi, but for Ravi you will not see the data in the fees table. So this is called data inconsistency. Okay, this scenario, the data is present in this students table, but the data is not present here. So this is called data inconsistency. Data inconsistency. Okay. Now, right? Now there might be one more scenario. The data in the students table did not get it, but the data in the fees tables got inserted. Suppose now I am trying to insert one more student fees details like 1, 2. Some amount paid is, let's say, 10,000. Then I'll say February 23 and roll number. I'll say some 110. But this got inserted successfully. But for this roll number 110, there is no student record. So this is also a data inconsistency. Okay. In order to solve these kind of issues, we should have transaction. In order to solve data inconsistency issues, in order to solve this kind of data inconsistencies, we need to apply transactions. So now what will happen in transaction is, so we'll begin a transaction. And here we'll say end transaction. We also call this as committed transaction. So here we in between begin and end, we put some database operations. Now we say insert into students table. Then insert into fees details table. Now, when it starts a transaction, right? Then insert in students table. Now you know what it will do. This will not insert in the table directly. Remember, your database will maintain a transactional log. A transactional log is made. So in this transactional log, first the student data is inserted. Next, fees details is inserted. And then whenever we say commit transaction, the data from the transaction log is pushed to your students table and student fees table. Okay. Now, suppose this is fine, both are success. But what happens is fee details is failed. At the time, your transaction log will see only one entry, only the student's entry, but there is no entry of fee details. And you know, well, when we do a commit transaction, it will not commit the transaction because it will see that one insert got failed, but one insert got succeed. Your transaction log will not commit the data into the tables. Okay, and it will delete here. It will delete the data. Okay, so when all DB operations under one transaction, when all DB operations under one transaction are successfully executed, then the transaction commits. The transaction commits the data to the tables. Commits means saves the data to tables. Now, when any of the DB operations under a transaction fails, then 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 all the DB operations will get rolled back. Rolled back means they are not committed, they are not safe. Now, if I take now in the same scenario now, your fees details did not get inserted, but students table got inserted. Now your transaction, when transaction, what it will do? It will delete these entries and not push the table. Now you will neither have the record in, you will not have the record in students table. You will also not have the record in fees table. See, it is like this, as if in both tables, the record Ravi should be present, or in both tables, Ravi's record should not be present. So if the record is present in the students table, means that record should be present for the corresponding roll number. Okay, this is 101, right? This is 101. So what will happen is now, either the data should be present in both tables or data should not be present in the both tables. So this feature is called atomicity. Atomicity. This feature is called atomicity. So your hibernate will expect all the DB operations to be ended. Even, see, here I'm doing only one operation, but still we need transaction. See, here we're inserting only in students table, that's all. Even if you have only one table also, that should be under a transaction. Okay. So hibernate will always expect DB operations to be under one transaction. Be under a transaction. Even if there is one DB operation also, that should be executed in one transaction. So that is the reason we are using session.get transaction begin and get transaction commit, and under between this we will do the DB operations. Very doubt till now? Right. So let us now See earlier we have created a table like this, right? Like this, we created a table, right? But from Hibernate itself, we can create a table. How? We'll see. Just 1 minute. I'll say you can use in place of I'll say Hibernate DDL auto generation. See, the question is, in place of MySQL, can we use Oracle? Yes, provided in form.xml, you should change this from MySQL to Oracle, and then in the configuration, Hibernate configuration file, here you have to change from MySQL dialect to Oracle dialect. Okay. All right then. Now we will see how we can generate let me create one. I'll copy this in I don't have Oracle database, but the same concept. Just to change that MySQL version and then MySQL dialect in the configuration. Okay. Now let us now take this and copy here. Okay. So here I'll create an entity class, new class. I'll create an employee class. Okay. So here I'll say @ entity table name equal to employee. Okay. I told you this yesterday, right? Entity is mapped to a class and this entity is mapped to a table with the name of this table. Okay. Then what I'll do, @ID. Then I'll say private string employee ID. I'm doing the same program. How to generate from Hibernate. Then I'll say private string employee name, and here I'll say @column emp_name. For name. Next is next also I'll have now one more column employee or something like role. So I'll just say employee role. Now let me generate now setters and getters. So I'll just shift these columns. Okay. So we have an employee.java with this. And then what I'll do is now copy this Hibernate configuration file here. Okay. Here I'll create one database, employee DB. I'll just say I'll create one already employee DB. I'll say create my employee. And then here I'll just say property name. I'll say HBM to DDL dot auto. Okay. And here I'll say create. And I'll say create. See what this will do is this property will scan the entity class. Okay. Okay. So this class, this will scan the entity class and generate. Okay, on create tables, we can say tables in the database. That means it will scan the entity class and create a table automatically and create the columns also automatically. So that's all. Okay. Now if I run this program, okay, I'll just run this program. Okay. This program actually, I'm trying to run the program. Yeah, this I did not put this on, right? So let me do this session factory. I'll just create a session factory, that's all. And just I'll say employee.class. And here I'll say factory dot close. That's all. I'm not doing anything, just I'm creating the session factory. Now, when session factory is getting created, how it is getting created? From hibernate configuration XML file. Okay, from hibernate configuration XML, well, when it is reading, now it will see this property hbdem 2d auto create, and automatically the employee table is created. I will show you this. Unknown, okay, this database is not there. Let me create the database. Let me run this again. Now you see something here. Some error you got, you see. You got some error. You have an error. Employee ID, not only employee name, employee role. Let us see some. Okay, I think my database is 5.1. I think that is not supported. So I think what I have to do is there is some error here. I think what we have to do is in hibernate configuration file, I should say here MySQL 5 direct because you're using MySQL 5. Now you see, I think table got created. Now let me now search for us in this table. Show tables. Now see the student table. Okay. Okay. I think here I have to change. Why still student? Okay. Use. I used the wrong DB. Show tables. Now see employee got created from the hibernate. Show create. Employee. See this table got automatically generated. Only thing is here we have to change. In hibernate configuration, we have to change MySQL 5 direct, not MySQL direct, because since we are connecting with MySQL 5 above any version, it will be MySQL 5 direct. So this is a property, DDL auto creation. The table is created, right? Automatically, DDL is nothing but data definition language that automatically got created. Okay, with this Spring, with this gRPC. Just one minute. Everyone understood this? So just if you define this property, the table will be created automatically with these column names. Yeah, you can use Oracle also. See, Oracle SQL and MySQL SQL are almost same. Okay. Okay. See, I wanted to show you one thing. Just 1 minute. Huh? Just 1 minute. I wanted to show you one thing. I'm searching for that, my old file. Just 1 minute. I'm just. I prepared one. Okay, I prepared one deck for hibernate actually. This is the deck. Can you see? I'll share you. I'll share you this. So we are going to see in Hibernate, we are going to create this data model design. Like one author is associated with, just like if you see in this example, if you see here, student table is associated with fees tables. So one student ID here will be mapped with this roll number. I mean, this student roll number is mapped with this roll number. And for this student, this is the fees details. Now we'll expand now this kind of similar thing. Like let us take like kind of a book, a book related application, books related. Okay, where an author will write the books, just like Amazon books, how an author will write a book and publish it in Amazon, and he will provide reviews, right? So that's what here. See, one author is associated with author details like this. See, author will have author ID, name, and author details will have like his qualification, his experience, everything will have in details. Okay. So one author is associated with one author, but many books can be written by one author, right? So one author can write many books, right? So that's why from book to author, it is a many to one. From author to author details, 1 to 1. So one author is associated with one author details. But you can think like this, see. Say you have an author table. You have an author details table. Next, you have a book table. You have a book reviews table. And then you have a reader table. So now this will be your author table. In this, you will have author ID, author name, okay, author ID, author name, and you'll also have like author, something like author phone number, for example. In author details table, what will be there? Details table. You will have now. You will have now. Author details, what will be there? You will have an ID. Then you will have like kind of what are the details you have? Say, for example, you can have author experience, next author qualification. These are the author details. Okay. Similarly, Similarly, we will have book table. Books table, you can say books table. So what will be there in the books table? There will be book ID, book name, and author ID. So there will be book ID, book name, and then you'll have the author ID. Okay, next is what will be there in the reviews table? So you'll have a review ID, review description, and the book ID. So review ID, and then review description, and then we'll have the what you say book ID. Next we'll have reader. So there will be multiple readers to a book, right? So we'll have a reader ID, reader name. There will be a reader ID. Next there will be a reader name. Next there will be a book ID. Now you see, let us take one example. Take author ID. Let us take author ID is 1. Name is some Raju. Says phone number is say and so phone number. Okay. Now similarly, here author details table is 1, and his experience is say some 10 years experience. Qualification is say some PG. Now by seeing these two tables, what will have? This is a one-to-one association. One author detail is exactly mapped with this. That means one record is mapped with this record. Right? So 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Right? Now you see here. Now this author ID 1, can write multiple books, right? Same author can write multiple books. Right? Say for example, now I'll say book ID. So book name is a kind of what you say is some Java. Now the same author can write one more book. That book ID is 2. That book name is say some spring or hibernate. And then same author has written them. Now you see, this author ID is appearing in 2 records here. That means many records. That means many records. If it is a more than one record, it's a many record. Many records of this author ID is mapped to only one record. There is only one record. So if you see, this is the primary key. This is the primary key. Okay, here also this will be the primary key. This ID is the primary. What is a primary key? The value of that primary key only appears in one record. It will not repeat. Okay, but here your author ID is not primary key here because the value is repeating here 1 1. So, but book ID is primary key because the value is unique across the rows. Now here this is your primary key. Okay, and this will be your foreign key. So this will be your foreign key. Which maps. So this foreign key is mapping to this primary key. This primary key ID. So foreign key value this foreign key is mapping to this table. This foreign key maps to the primary key of author table. Now if you see this record, this author ID record is repeating, but that's why it's not primary key, it's a foreign key. So that's why this association, that means many records, many author ID, that means the records with the same author ID, many records are associated with one record. So this is your many to one association. Many to one association. Okay. Now, similarly, if you see here, review ID. One book can have multiple reviews, right? Let me take like this. One. What is book ID 1? Book ID 1. Book ID 2. Or book ID 1, I'll say. Book ID 1. Okay. Similarly, I'll have book ID 2. I'll now put only. So I'll put like kind of review ID 1. Review ID 2. So this description is a good book. This description is a bad book or an average book. That means one reviewer will give you it is a good book, one reviewer will give an average book, but it is for the same book ID. That means this book ID. For Java book ID, what is book ID 1? It is Java. Okay, Java. So one description is good and one average. Now again, these two records, these two book IDs are mapped to one record here. Okay, are mapped to one record. Okay. Or mapped to one record, or we can go in this way also. Now we'll go in this way. We'll go in this way. One book ID, one book is associated with multiple reviews. So that's why it is called one to many. So I'll say one book ID is associated with multiple reviews. So that's why this is called one to many. So one book is associated with multiple reviews, many reviews. Okay. Now, so the association between these two tables is one to one. Here you will have many to one because many authors, I mean, like many records of one author, many records of one, because the same author is repeated across multiple rows. It is associated with one author table. Similarly, many records of one book ID is mapped with this. Or from here, if you go, one book is having multiple reviews. See, the same book ID 1 is having multiple reviews. One reviewer will give it is a good book. One reviewer, see, reviews will not be always constant, right? It depends upon the user's choice, reader's choice. Now, if you see here, this is your primary key. This is your primary key. and this is your foreign key. So this is your foreign key, and this is mapping to primary key of books table. So this is mapping to primary key of books table. Now if you see here I can have many readers will be reading many books, right? Many readers will be reading many books. Okay, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, I'm getting one. Yeah, sorry, I got one call. Okay, shall we see tomorrow? I'll tell you this reader. Till now, everyone understood this part, whatever I told you. Whatever I told till now, everyone understood. So we will see tomorrow this. I'll tell you tomorrow. So till this part, everyone is clear, right? This records, right? All right then. Okay. So we'll see tomorrow then. Okay then. Tomorrow we'll connect.